all that to say is that nothing's changing. Nothing is changing. It's all the same stuff over and over again. We're just waiting. Distribution still is intact. Still is intact, given the fact that they're just selling off everything. NASDAQ is getting crammed. Here is over that little pivot here of 740 and then bottoming off of it. Rasky red. Yep, Rasky red. All the way down, and of course we have the Rasky open. It's good stuff. Pretty good indication of what's going to happen. $25,774. ES is dropping here as well. Silver is plummeting. And what I'm going to do is the same thing I did last time, is I'm looking for high volume. Anything over, what was this silver right here? 1.2, I'm going to put 1.2, anything over 1.2 thousand. I'm going to set a vol alert. Add a volume alert, and we're going to go 1200 right there. That might be too high. Did I say 12,000? What did I say on that? What was this volume yesterday? Yeah. Add volume alert. Value. Oh, there we go. I thought I did that. Did I do that right? Okay. All right. There we go. 1200. So silver's holding on just nicely, still on that line. NASDAQ is still getting wrecked, top wick. So it looks like they're coming on down, and if you saw what I was doing in pre-market there, I was just doing the final wrap-up. So after I do all my analysis, all the liquidity, I just go back and I simply plot prior pivots. And that's a situational awareness thing. Right here, these orange lines kind of tell me, all right, well, if this pricing is dropping down, I don't want to be shorting into 672 right out of the gate. Maybe they'll absorb 672 and drop, but right there, that's the overnight levels, and I want to be aware of that. Might get me a good long entry off of that. Right now, we are seeing put selling and zero call activity. Nothing. Top wick NASDAQ. All I've been doing now for, all these weeks, December, this year starting off pretty dang good, is I'm repeating the same process over and over again, the same exact setup over and over and over again, waiting for high volume wicks, period. I see it, I take it, that's it. All right, it's 25,730, still coming off here. No volume spike on the 1 minute so far. We have very weak options data. What's up, McGabagooley? How you doing? How you doing? Silver bouncing back up. Big red on Qs, yeah, all the way down. Still getting wrecked. There's no volume here, so there's no bounce. You see the volume? The volume is downtrending, so there's no support here. We're undoing a lot of this price action here, this low volume slop that keeps on getting top wicked. Now, finally, the bulls keep having their chance to set up. Literally, the bears are just walking up to the tee box and setting the golf ball on the tee and says, smash it. The buyers can't do it. The buyers can't do it. So eventually, absorption happens because the price action can't go any higher, and now we're going for seeking out liquidity. 672 right here is the overnight low. Well, it's close to it, I should say. More like 670. And do we have volume coming in? Silver's bouncing. NASDAQ. I'm looking at a 3C and pre-market low. Me too, buddy. I like it. I like it. So far, though, they are not really buying many puts here. They're selling calls. They're selling puts. There ain't much going on in terms of the options data. We have a little bit of volume there. Nice little bottom wick off the volume. That's why I said watch the volume. In terms of data, we don't really have any. We have one star event at the top of the hour, and that's it. That's it. With $1 million, you could sling 10 minis on silver and make 200K in about 5 minutes. It's nuts, man. I've been really focusing on silver the past couple of weeks, and it's paying off pretty large dividends because it's just, if you can get anywhere close to being on the right area, it's crazy how fast that thing pays and how much. It blows NASDAQ out of the water in terms of how much money you can make. and also lose. So you have to be very, very smart with your entries. Play the probabilities. Top wick, still coming over. I saw you charting your lines before the stream started. You just marking yesterday's morning highs. Yeah, so that's the last thing I do before I really come into the stream, before I lock in all my analysis, is I just go through and I plot the prior session and the overnight levels. That's the easy stuff. That's the low-hanging fruit that you shouldn't make. That's the beginner stuff that you can add onto your chart to make sure you're not shorting into a major support or longing into a major resistance. Situationally aware. To be honest, if I have $1 million in the trading account, I'm selling cash secured puts and going about my day. Yep. Can you net 1% a month on $1 million? 1% a month, not a 1% a day. Can you net 1% a month on $1 million smackaroos? That's 12% a year. You can live off that. We should do a pre-session markup with all of us. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it tomorrow. I'll be good with that. Let's do it tomorrow. Silver, look at that, man. Look at that move, dude. Jeez. Absolute monster rocket ship. Delete. So far, relatively lower volume on silver, although that is a 3C. NASDAQ is still getting pummeled here. Does not want to bounce. We have put, selling, call, buying at the moment. Very weak, though. Most people, for said 423. Most people that have $1 million cannot live on 2K, 120. Yeah, they're living above their means, definitely. More money, more problems. Another red move. Or if they're worth $1 million, or if they have $1 million, yeah, it's different, yeah. If they're worth $1 million, most likely it's locked up in other assets. It's not liquid. All right, here we go. Red move. Failing all the way back over. Let's see what we can do. Here's 670. Watch for volume. Watch for volume. This is a very aggressive move. There's no volume spike here. We have an itty-bitty little volume hit there. Let's see what they're doing. I would say they're going to flush 670. And then if there's going to be a bottom, like that's where you're going to get it. Just watch the volume. Watch the volume. Watch the volume. This is a beautiful Rasky red open here. Silver's just blasting. They're going to come back down. So far, option chain looks terrible. There's a singular volume spike. It's a very low volume spike, but it's a spike. I want that 670 liquidation. Oh, man. I'll take one life and some land. Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice life, man. A little bit of land. Good wife. Knows how to make some good bread and some croissants. VIX is up 1566. Bottom wick back up there. Still top wicking. I don't see any real bullishness here. Nothing. They're trickling into buying puts and selling off some calls. And everything is just kind of sliding. Remember, before we start going to slam the buy the dips, there's going to be some scalp buy the dip opportunities here. But you remember, we have had 3 failed breakouts in a row. And now they crushed it yesterday. So there's a big bottom wick on NASDAQ. Right off to 6.7. No volume spike, though, so no supportive measures yet until we get a volume spike. Yet. $6.74. There's a little bit of a green move. Boom, right off of it. There's the volume. There's the level. Close it, and we'll have a long opportunity 3Cs. 6, 7, boom, boom. All right, give me the close. Give me the close, homie. Give me the close. Give me the close. You gonna eat your cornbread. Come on, baby. Give it to daddy. He said the thing. What do you think about tech finally waking up after the Qs breakout? I don't know. You know, I've been very aware of the tech stocks now for a while, given the fact that they're underperforming. They've been underperforming now for a very long time, with the exception of 1 or 2 names. And that's a big thing. There's a reason why that's happening. And you know, even if we are going to continue this craziness of going higher, there needs to be some profit taking to rebalance and then hammer it to go higher. I mean, the inventory can't suggest that we're just going to continue to fly. We have to have some sort of retracement to gather liquidity in it and then go. At least that's what I'm looking for. Still can't get a 3C here. There's we need to get over at this point. At least you need to get over about 700 on yeah, so 5 minute, 1 minute, both need about 700 to get that momentum. Otherwise, we are going to downshift, and there's not really much else. We have a little bit at 640 after that. I mean, it's another 140 points right here. So you see this is a very steady downtrend. The options aren't really calling for anything. 700 will give us a 3C. Other than that, you have to remain short biased. Remember, you're looking for one good solid trade. One good solid trade. Oh, what the crap? There you go. There you go. Holy smokes. Good gosh. Good. Wow. All right, what can they do? What can they do? Oh, something's getting a little erratic. Just be a little. This price action's getting a little erratic here. Just be patient. Be patient. Volume's coming in. They just absolutely pummeled into the puts. Like literally, one single purchase bought $1.3 billion in puts. Look at that. That's probably one of the quickest moves on puts I've seen without some sort of a news indication. Look at that. Wow. Still coming off here. Very red. Very, very red. All the way down. Just getting absolutely bamboozled with price action. All right. Let me see here. Wow. All right, still roughing off here. Let's see. 25,621. Do we have a volume spike on the 1 minute? No, we don't. No, we don't. So far, this doesn't look crazy yet because they're not putting on volume to really get a possible freight train reversal. So they're 621 and holding. If they engulf that, man, this is insane. Still downshifting. We have 1.16 billion of calls. 609 after that, maybe 530 or so. If they give this out, it's going to be another quick 70 points. It's going to get spicy real quick. Real quick. 604.603, 600. Volume is coming in, but it is just strong. Oh, high volume. At this point, we need at least 630. There's a strong bottom wick with volume. What's the S&P doing? The S&P is doing the same thing. There's a big old wick. Boom. Boom. There it is. Wick, volume, bottom wick, 3C. We have call buying coming on. Are they going to hammer this baby or what? Is this goal regulation size or what? There it is. Boom. There it is. Here comes the boom, baby. Boom. There it is. There it is. There it is, baby. There it is. Come to daddy. 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 I'm out. I'm out. Don't look at me like that. Go make me some croissants. Oh, baby. We're having a good time. We're having a good time. All right. I am G to G, baby. I am G to G. Silver? How do you look at the silver? Holy smoke. Is that ham? Silver's going, not as clear, though. Not as clear. That right there was textbook. In fact, I might put that in my textbook that I'm writing. Green on all my TPT accounts, caught the right side of the VN, both sides of those moves. Nice, noob. Nice. Now, let me ask you a question. Let's say you've got 5 accounts on your TPT or whatever prop firm you choose. You put on one single micro account somewhere down with that bottom wick with outlier volume. All you have to do is, you could lose 100 points on a micro and still you're only losing $200. Now, obviously, that's a lot of money for someone with a small account, but I'm just saying. Think about the probability of it bouncing at least a little bit into the green with a bottom wick with that kind of volume. All you've got to do is get close to the entry point when you're playing with small position sizing, and all of a sudden, trading becomes enjoyable. Instead of freaking out on every little wick because you're slinging 10 minis while eating Hot Pockets, screaming at your mom to make you some meatloaf downstairs, all you got to do is take one single micro. It's somewhere near there's 3 Cs, and that's all you got to do. But, I mean, that right there is repeatable. That, what I just showed you, is repeatable. Over and over and over and over again. Over and over and over and over again. You want to know how it's repeatable? That's how I know it's repeatable. And that's all I'm doing. I'm just waiting for volume. Wicks and volume, baby. That's it. All right, anyway, what's next? Little SR flip. So we had a 3C bounce. We came up and tapped the SR flip at 25,670. So we can't breach it. So guess what? We're going to step on the clutch. We're going to go from 4th gear down to 3rd gear. We're going to downshift. And then they're going to hit the gas on down to about 530. Is that after one trade? I've taken a couple of trades today. Silver. And then I took some silver trades this morning. And then, of course, that one NASDAQ trade there. Simply just doing this exact thing. What is that little coach thingy? That is their little. I don't even pay attention to them. Those are their coach tips. They just put up little trading, I guess, philosophy stuff for you to read. All right, coming off here, 25,000, 629. Yeah, Coach T's tips. Oh man. What's next? Let's go take a look at the next setup. Silver's nothing actionable yet. I don't like this setup on silver yet. We haven't hit any high volume yet, so I'm not interested. NASDAQ is failing back over. We have two different setups to look at possibly. We can either have the double bounce to come back up, or they could smoke this and begin a downshift. My thought process, given the fact that we have already done a rocket ship now for 3 days in a row without any success, tells me that they're going to go lower with this before they go higher, because they expect everyone to expect this to come up. So what's the best thing to do for them if everyone's expecting this to go back to 26,000? To dump it. That's the best way to make this market imbalanced, because the market has to be imbalanced in order to trend. You can't trend a balanced order book. You have to make the book imbalanced. So if everyone's going to position themselves for a bounce back up to 26,000, then the most logical movement, if I'm a big guy, is to come down to 25,530 at least. And of course, we'll track what everything else is doing. Right now, they're buying puts and they're weekly buying calls. Right here. All right, coming back up here, retesting. Can you break down this trade, because it wasn't your typical 3Cs play? Yeah, so playing this early, we had a tremendous amount of volume, and I'm really trying to snipe this setup because we had an outlier volume here on the 1, and then bottom we can go up. So we had the 2 Cs on both the 5 and the 1, but we didn't have, obviously, the closure of the 5 on the yet. So that's where you have to have some interpretation. If you're looking for a high quality setup where I'm taking full position sizing, then yeah, I need a full 3C to take it. And then if I'm going to do that, I'm also going to hold it for a lot longer too. I'm going to hold it through some red. I'm going to hold it through a possible top wick and then base. But I'm looking for maybe a full-on V or even a 50% retracement, which I don't expect a full-on V today, at least not right now. So it's really situational dependent. Sometimes I'm more aggressive, sometimes I'm not. Today I've been a little bit of aggressive. Silver, I took 2 plays that weren't fully confirmed 3Cs. They were 2Cs, and they worked out really well because I'm waiting on super high volume. And the higher the volume that I have, outlier, the more likely I'm to play a little bit more aggressive. But of course, you have to pull the position sizing back. How's Hero? Right now, it's looking back to bullish. So they're back to buying calls, and they're selling puts right here. Boom. But look, they cannot get over the 670 here. That is the main SR flip that they can't get over. So you're in your mind right now, if they can't clear 670, then you can't long up in this area. Because if they fail this, which is now, this is now twice they've failed, then we're going to come on down and regather inventory at 531. So right here. Is NVIDIA at support? Yeah, they are. This is weekly support. I mean, they blew through it, but they're defending it. So this might be a good bounce area for NVIDIA. If they do take this out, 182 is your next target. Is this not a 2C on the 5-minute? Yeah, so far we've got volume with the bottom wick. That is 2 of the Cs, 100%. 100%. We don't have a confirmed 3C yet. You need this yellow line. You need at least 670 to close You can even make it a touch higher, 674, to get that full-on third C. Yes, if you want the full confirmation, closer and everything, highest amount of confidence, right now, you need the 30 C over 674, 100%. But, I executed off 2 Cs, which sometimes that's okay. Like I said, this is the reason why I give you all a lot of leeway with the third C. That is situational dependent. That's an art form. Eye of the beholder. The first 2 Cs are technical. Any signals this week? Yeah, we'll post some. I'll post some. So, right here. It's cold as ice with the snipe. Gotta get on it. Blah, blah, blah. Right here, what is that? There we go. So if they fail this, I would expect 531. So be ready for it. Be ready for it. I watched the 15-second. Helps a lot. There you go. Yeah, so now that's 2 rejections off the SR flip of 674. Now that line was on there from the pivot right here. So that is not a coincidence. Markets don't show coincidences. That is a overnight low. They failed it. Now they regather inventory there. Top wick, sell back off. If they clear this level, then we're going to 531. The probability will be 531. And then once we get to 531, guess what else I'm going to do? I'm sure y'all can guess. High volume, bottom wick. Based on the amount of volume, I may or may not wait for the third C confirmation. Just a little bit of the third C. We will see. We will third C. Where's my boy Dan? Danny Gabagoo over here. Silver 8 moving. NASDAQ is still selling. I would expect 531. What you doing, baby? Oh, man. Golf. We don't really have any data today. We have a one-star event that's about to hit now, and that's it. After that, it's slim pickings. But tomorrow, of course, is a tsunami of news events. Tsunami. Are you more profitable playing long bounces or shorts? Taking into account the entire year, long. It's much more easy. It's much easier, I should say, much easier to play long bounces than short rejections. Just the market loves to bounce, especially in a bullish environment, and we've been in a bullish environment for most of the year. So, of course, buying the dip is going to be way better. However, you've got to, I know we kind of joke about they know, we know, they know, we know, they know thing, but that's literally you have to think. You have to think they know we're looking to buy the dip. That's why you're looking to buy the dip, because you're retail and you only see what you see without critical thought. So if it looks ripe to buy the dip, then guess what? They're going lower. And that's what goes through my head. So you have to pick out what's not obvious. And the 3 C's help you do that. If you're not in tune with volume, then you're gonna catch a falling knife. you're gonna try to short a face ripper to the upside. You just gotta take a step back and understand what they're trying to do. Silver, massive volume, big dump. I just got the volume alert. Meep. It's at a weird location. If there's one thing I've learned with silver is you have to take a couple of breaths. All right, so in this one so far, we have amount of volume after we broke through this prior support with no bottom wick whatsoever. They breezed right on through it. They are buying aggressive amount of puts here, 1.2 billion in puts purchased. So I am not going to buy this. I'm not going to buy this. Not yet. Silver bouncing up nicely. I'm not playing silver at the moment. Wait for 531 or short. Indian stock market crashes after Trump says 500% tariffs on India because they bought Russian oil. A couple of bottom wicks here. We might have a third C. Let's go to the 5 minute. 5 minute, we have a little bit of a bottom wick here. We need to get over 610, but be very patient. Think about the upside. I want your eyes, just like if you're playing chess, you have to note the white squared bishop hanging over across the board, targeting your queen. You can't blunder your queen. So I want y'all to keep your eyes on all of this up here. If you understand how much realized profit, or unrealized profit you have here, potential profit, you're not going to focus on trying to catch the itty bitty little bottom wick here. Who cares? Wait for a strong bottom wick, wait for a third C if you're looking for a full-on V reversal. If you're trying to scalp a bottom wick, then your zoom may be a little bit tighter. You're not necessarily looking for a massive 3C bottom wick. So that's really up to you. How do you want to approach this chart? There's a whole bunch of potential profit here when they bounce. Until then, just hang out, chill, short and do nothing, short or do nothing until they give you a 3C. Hold on a second. I don't want to come off this chart yet, Lowen. I want to watch volume because I think they're going to plunge this to 530. What if they do this all day? Then you short. A lack of 3C is a confirmation of a short. GC massive volume. Gold, yeah, put on some great volume there. They're in this little channel. Silver, beautiful high volume bounce. Beautiful. Beautiful. Didn't take it. NASDAQ is putting on very weak structure here, so even the 1 minute can't go higher highs. Even the 1 minute. I think I timed NVIDIA bounce for just like here and you confirm. There we go, coming back up. Potential 3C. Potential, here's the 5. Be patient. %70 short. The top step tilt is 70% short on NASDAQ. Interesting. We can't even get a 3C here. There we go. There we go. $632 and still going. Boom. Volume. Volume. Right over the 612 rocket ships. About 400 million of calls just pounded the tape. Personal 23 cents on silver, which is a lot. Prop fund at 15 points between two trades. Paper 1.5. Yeah. Fearlessness of fake money. Yep. Back to working on the business and doing some write-ups on the AM trades. Nice. Looking forward to seeing it, Kennedy. All right, so what happened here? We came on down. SPX is tapping 6,900. That is the line. If y'all were on the pre-market there, y'all saw me draw this line. And I put welcome to the danger zone on this 6,900 on SPX. Why is that welcome to the danger zone? Because all of this right here is negative gamma. Everything under 6,900 is negative gamma. So if the buyers allow 6,900 to be captured, then we will quickly undo any of the green that we have accumulated the past couple of weeks. There's no support. Right now we're just kind of drifting in a positive gamma environment. And that's exactly why I posted that level. In fact, the mistake I made was not putting an alert on it. There we go. Now we have an alert on it. That was 500 million worth of calls just hit very quickly. Booyah. All right. Did I get that? No, I didn't. I didn't catch this move. I did not catch this move, although I should have. Let's see. They are hammering the calls now, baby. 430 million calls. 853 million puts. They've sold off about 500 million of puts. So, strong call buying. Strong put selling at the moment. There you go, 670. Booyah. %50 fib on deck. Yeah, the SR flip, if they close that, it'll have a little bit more momentum. There's a 50 right there. $100-point bounce on NASDAQ. Beautiful. Silver, just absolute monster with that kind of volume. Absolute monster. Maybe a little trend line for silver right about here. About 75, 74.80. NASDAQ's holding on just nicely. Third C, baby. Very, very strong setup. Boom. Still going. Amazing stuff. Still going. Nice, noob doob. So we waiting for the 5 minute? No, we already have a 5 minute. I just didn't take it. That's a beautiful setup. That's even stronger than the first setup. Morning calls complete. Got some time. What's up, D Trent? What's up, D Trent? Oh, man. Let's see what they're going to do now. YM is flying. There's a bottom wick here. Once we accumulate this, 686 or so, then we'll determine if they are, in fact, going to go back up to the highs. But that's a big ask so far. Let's go to the daily chart. What does that look like? Nice sweeping top wick on ES. They're bouncing off this little pivot. Man, ES took out the highs. Once again, they were much stronger than NASDAQ. I completely lost awareness of ES. NVIDIA hit a pivot, hence why NASDAQ is bouncing. Yeah, buddy. It was a beautiful pivot. Beautiful pivot. Right off of it. Trading can be pretty simple sometimes, right? Right there. Not easy, but simple. Another SR test. Oh, man. This got stepped in the goal, but how could happily take the best win of the year at 12.5 points. Nice. PB&J. Master yourself, master trading. That's right. I've been holding some 116.26 calls on Lunar for a year now. They were 85% down at one point. Now they're back to break even. Never sell your worthless options. Well, there you go. I mean, that's, I guess, yeah, that's accurate. If an option is worth nothing, why sell it? Just see if it comes back. Well, we had a little move down, and then it bounced back up. Some beautiful 3C action, all supported by volume. It's good stuff, man. That's all you got to do. That's about it. I'm just going to chill until I see something else. Still can't get above it. Every single time they try to get over it, there's a top wick back down. But they are, I mean, there's 630 million worth of calls being purchased here. Going. There's that. There's that. What's your thoughts on the ES 5-minute? Highest volume of the day, poking towards overnight open, possible short. Well, just because there's no topic on that one single candle doesn't mean it's not a 3C. It still can play out over and over again. So the fact that that volume came in right there, and we still have that top wick, shows that we might have a little bit of drawdown. I mean, volume very rarely lies at least that bad. So we'll see. I'll just keep an eye on it. Under 58, we'll have a retracement. Silver is going nutty once again. They were down 6% at one point, and now they're bouncing back up. Man, it's hard to be discouraged on missing opportunity when I'm doing so well this morning, but I'm missing opportunities, making money. Let's go, baby. We did a giveaway yesterday. Another giveaway. We'll do another one. We'll do another one tomorrow. Oh, there's always another chance. Heck yeah, always another chance. Sold my VLO call yesterday for 50% profit. Legged into a CVX call, hoping to profit off the visit when it incident. Yeah. So what's going on here? Most of the S&P is turning bright green. XLIP, XLP, what the crap? Consumer staples? Like, what's going on? What are you doing? Amazon must be going nuts. So the small caps are just going crazy. Oil rebounded a little bit. XLE's up. Tech is the only thing that's kind of drawn down. That's why NASDAQ is kind of chilling halfway. And ES is freaking flying. All week long, we've had these weird back and forth divergences between the ES and NASDAQ, which typically makes a harder market. Now, I've been doing pretty well with this week, so it's odd. I think it's because I've been trading silver so much and not really focusing on the indexes. I think that's why. But, I mean, this is very weird activity to watch the S&P and NASDAQ just completely diverge every day this week. Will the tariffs be canceled tomorrow? I doubt it. I mean, right now they're saying the Supreme Court most likely will overturn them, but we'll see. Who knows, man? This is a crazy year. We're 8 days into the year, and it's already crazy. Still holding this high volume spike. Wish I could bet Polymarket. You see there's like an insider in Israel that's obviously betting with Polymarket. All like for weeks, it's this person's been betting war events in Iran and Israel, and it's 100% win rate. And he's making hundreds of thousands of dollars, and he just bet that Israel's going to attack Iran by the end of the month. Like significantly large bet. It's almost as if Polymarket was created so insider traders can make money without being involved with the SECs in the stock market, where you can just bet on everyday outcomes. I talked about this before. What stops people from doing that? That was my exact point. Avoid the SEC. Yeah. It's just betting without being in the stock market. You see the judge over Netanyahu war crimes died? Yeah, I saw that. That's crazy. Isn't still some regulation? My understanding is that these prediction markets are qualified. I mean, there's supposed to be some regulation, and in fact, who just partnered with was it the Dow that just partnered with Polymarket? But the fact that you can just bet on everyday outcomes, like look what happened with the press conference yesterday, the White House press conference. Somebody placed a bet that the press conference would not go over 65 minutes. And at like 64 minutes and 50 seconds, she abruptly just shut up and walked away and stopped the presser. Like she sped up her talk and then shut it down like 5 seconds before it hit 65 minutes. So, what are we supposed to do with that? It's just these weird outcomes that are not regulated. That's how do you not bet on that? You only regulate we the people anyway. That's right. They have us cheering over the fact that we don't have to pay $200 to have a silencer anymore, while they're making millions on insider trading. Well, NASDAQ got pretty boring pretty quick. I was having a lot of fun with it. Silver's going cray-cray. All right, so let's see if we can figure something out on silver here. I am going to have to mute. I'll be back in about a minute, and we're going to talk about some silver. All right, I'm back. Let's see here. Silver, putting on some volume spikes. So we have a volume spike that happened here, and we have another volume spike that happened here. So we have multiple volume spikes. Now, think about a trend as if it were a freight train steaming down the tracks. Extremely heavy. It's got a lot of momentum. It's got a lot of kinetic energy. You can't just stop that train on the tracks. You've got to slow it down by applying volume spikes. That volume slows it down. Selling eats up the momentum of the buyers. So one single volume spike may or may not get me looking for a position to reverse like this short. Several volume spikes tell me, all right, well, it's beginning to enter into some supply. Now all I need to do is wait for the wick. Boom, I've got the wick. Now we need to wait for the follow through. Maybe, maybe not. If we're at a strong location, like a prior high, prior low, weekly high, then I may take the position before even looking for the third C. But in a situation like this, we've got volume spikes. It's not incredibly high volume, but it's higher. We have some wicks at a very obvious area 25, 75.26, 75.3. So if we get a 5-minute top wick that closes under about 75.04, then we're going to look to play the confirmed position back down. If this were a significant post area, let's say this is pre-market high, I'd be more likely to go ahead and enter a position. But right now, we have volume spike. If that volume was a lot higher, like if that volume was the highest of the day, maybe I might take another short position. But I want to be aware of where the volume's coming in. So I'm checking this out. Very strong trend. What am I going to do here? Right now, nothing. But I'm going to keep a watch on it. I qualified for a new prop account to replace the one I lost earlier. The daily profit reached. I'm done for the day. Nice, Damien. Well done, buddy. I love to see it. I love to see it. There we go. NQ, what are we doing? NQ going up. Silver just took out highs again. See what I mean? 888 of put purchasing at the moment. I may eventually break down and give prop firms a try, but how do you manage so many accounts without copy trading? Are you bouncing in and out to execute orders? Well, sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not copy trading, so I go back and forth. But I kind of pick days where I focus on one or the other. Like right now, today, I'm focusing a lot on Top Step because I'm in the expanding mode on TPT because I did so well in December on TPT, and now I'm just kind of all right. Well, I'm just going to hit a couple of trades with them, and I'm going to focus on building back up my Top Step for now, and while I've still got it, and then the IBKR trades, which I'm running 3 different accounts. I've got my Top Step, I've got my TPT, and I've got my IBKR. Like my IBKR is sitting right now. The higher the setup, the higher quality setup, the more likely I'm going to take it on IBKR. Because that's where I want to reserve the big dollars, because that's where I'm putting on big position sizing. That's where I make real money. The prop firms and stuff is more for short-dated stuff that's not necessarily high confidence, but it could be. And it's really like, it's depending on the situation. Sometimes I focus on Top Step more, sometimes I focus on TPT more. So yeah, and it depends on how I'm trading. If I'm trading poorly, if I'm trading bad. If I'm trading poorly, I stay away from TPT because with that trailing drawdown will get you. Unless I'm dealing with accounts that's heavily through the buffer, and I don't really have to worry about that anymore. Where Top Step, you have a lot of grace with the static end of drawdown. So I don't have a lot of motivation to grow my Top Step account because you're locked into $5,000 profit. You can't take more out. You can't take out more than $5,000 per payout until you hit a live account, of course, which I have no desire to go into a live account, especially after the crap that we read this morning. Hey, top wick with volume. On silver, what can we do here? So all that to say is that it's like you're balancing spinning plates on sticks. Like you have to keep them all spinning. I'm just going back and forth. High quality stuff is reserved for IBKR, and everything else is reserved for props. Taxation is worse on props. So taxation is very much worse on props. The only good thing about props is that you can write off your prop eval resets as long as you're profitable. If you're not profitable, then you're going to have a hard time justifying writing off your prop expenses. But if you're profitable, you can write them off. Can you copy trade TPT and another prop firm at the same time? You can, but you have to have a third party copy trader. Yeah, you need trade syncer. There you go. All right, silver's still going. Right them back up here. There's no 3C there, so. It's a monthly fee. 25,700 NASDAQ. Silver's coming up to 75 right here. Silver's going. Silver's in breakout modes here. They're up 2.6. Let's see if that's a liquidity sweep or what. It'd be nice if it was. Give us a good opportunity. I'm watching the volume right now. I don't see much volume. They're just going, going, going. What was the Top Step live change? It wasn't a change. It's just a guy posted a story yesterday that he was up already like, I don't know, like $5,000 on the day. So he's on a live account. He's already locked in $5,000 in profit, and he took a gold trade with, I don't know, 3 contracts. The trade went his way. He was profitable, and he put a break-even stop on the position, and just he was letting it do its thing. Top Step came in and closed the position. Or what did they do? They closed. No, they gave him a $3,000 trailing. They locked in a $3,000 trailing drawdown on the position, which means if the price action, if the trade came back down to $3,000, it would close the position for him. And the guy was like, "Why are you managing my positions? Like, it's ridiculous." And they said their justification was, "You're trading with our money. You're in a live account. That's our money, and we can't allow you to give back all the money to come back down and break even. Like we're locking in $3,000 of profit on the position." Which I can see their side of it. I mean, you are trading with the firm's money. If you're trading a real, like a professional prop firm on Wall Street, they may do the same thing because you're using their money. They may make you lock in a profit. So I could see their argument. I can see their argument. It's their money. They're locking in their money. But my saying is, kind of what I responded with is that all prop firms need to lead towards brokerage accounts. The money you make with prop firms needs to go towards a brokerage account because this gravy train is going to end. It's too good. They're not going to let the little man make too much money. And right now, this is too good. It's too easy to make money with prop firms, relatively speaking. There's a red candle on silver. Beautiful. Getting wrecked. Getting wrecked. It's my money and I want it now. Yep. Beautiful. Keep an eye on silver. Could be an opportunity. What's NASDAQ doing? NASDAQ is still rejecting. Do I want silver below 25? Yes. So with silver, as much of a beast as this thing is I would really like 70. Here, I'll go ahead and delete this one. I want this line right here, at least. That's full-on confirmation. for now. And now if we continue to put on price action, we'll move that line around. But right now, so 75.24 on silver. I've only been trading CFD as of now, and I want to move towards futures. How long does it take you to normally pass a TPT evaluation? It depends. I mean, I've passed them in 5 days before the minimum time, but it normally takes me about 8 to 8 days or so. That's about my average to pass an eval. My goal is about $300 per day. That's what I'm looking to trade. That's for the 50Ks. If I'm doing the 150Ks, then it's probably going to be a little higher, like $700, $800 a day with those accounts. Bottom wick. Are they dumping it back over? Yeah, look at that. Wrecked. Look at the puts. Look at the puts. Look at the puts. Holy smokerinos. I feel like they're playing with me. Like I stopped watching NASDAQ go to silver, silver stops, and now NASDAQ starts moving. See what I mean? You got to be bouncing. You got to be very situational aware in trading. What time is it? 9:38, 10:38 Eastern. I was in one NQ short, but I closed it right near the SR flip, got stopped out. Nice. What X accounts do you follow to get news for trading? If I'm being honest with you, my X account has become completely non-trading related. I think it's because I've been consuming so much, global news that the X has stopped giving me trading news. Like, Patrick Whalen, traders, other accounts, like everything, all the traders accounts that I used to follow, they don't give me any trading news anymore. So I'm like, all right, the algos have shifted. So now, Bloomberg News is a good one. Zero Hedge is another good one. Those are the two main ones I recommend. They're very fast for giving news headlines. Breaking trading news, something like that. I'll have to find the exact account. Is a good one. Financial Juice is a good one. Yeah. Of course, we have the news feed too. If you're unaware, we have the news feed in the server that gives news postings. Right there. Which, if you look in the stream, that's the channel list. So news feed right there. NASDAQ bouncing back up here, shaking and baking. Silver is just absolutely going, dude. All right, so right now, do y'all want to maintain 25,000 or 75.24 for a 3C on the 5? Bacon. I caught the first short on NASDAQ. Figured it was stalling there and went more than I should have. We'll take that. Nice. Nice, Twizzy. Good job, sir. The options are whipsawing back and forth. They're defending 6,900 like crazy. Cloudflare Radar reports, Topwix by the way, that Iran's, whatever that is, networks have been fully disconnected from the global internet. A move that has effectively cut off Iranian mobile users from external online access. Interesting. How long till they're hit? What do you think the chances of a nuclear detonation in 2026 are? Of someone using nukes? 15%? I'd say a little higher than that. More like something's going to happen, even if it's a tactical nuke. Not by a global party. I'm not saying I don't think it'll ever be a global party, but one of these rogue Islamic centers will throw one out because I have nothing to lose. Does Polymarket have a bet on that? Probably. They've got a bet on everything. 25, 75, 665. Still going. Silver. Nasdaq is double bouncing so far. Silver is gonna treat me really, really good today. I can feel it. It's already been treating me well. I'm just being so patient with it. I'm gonna wait and wait and wait till I see exactly what I want to see, and then I am going to clean house. I'm gonna clean house. On MES, is it bottom wicks to go higher after consolidation phase on the 15-minute? Let's go take a look. On the 15-minute, yes, this looks like accumulation for higher. When I see this little pop and flag, this price action here that, it goes up and then flags, that usually is a phase for a breakout. $75, $72. All right, watch this. I think silver's putting in some sort of an exhaustion pattern here. I think there's going to be a pullback on silver. I don't see a lot of 3C indications of that yet, but my guts say that we're going to have a little bit of exhaustion pullback here coming up on silver. Not a reversal, but a little bit of a pullback, a tradable pullback, and I want to watch it. That's what my gut says. We're about to get one. There we go. Just watch it. This looks like an exhaustion pattern here. If I get 75.24, I am... Oh. Oh. I heard M1 Grand sound at the end of a magazine, ping sound. Do that M1 Grand the ejection sound. That's a great sound. Hey, what's up, Mojo? What's up, buddy? Where you been this week? I miss you. Beautiful move down to the 50% on the session high in ES. Yeah, buddy. Ding. That would be a great auto-filled sound. Yeah. NASDAQ. I need to turn on the highs and lows. There we go. Quit playing games with my heart. Thoughts on Trump banning institutional buying of homes? I am a fantastic believer of that. I'm a fantastic believer of that. What makes America so great, there's not a single country in the entire world where you can go buy a home with the property that we've got and call it your own. Although, obviously, there's some liberty aspects we can go down the rabbit hole, property taxes, unalienable rights, all that kind of colonial rights, all that kind of stuff. But and if you strip that away from the American, where now even our kids are not even going to be able to afford a home, I think that's a terrible thing. That's going to erode American culture to do that. So I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. I think it's fantastic. I live in one of the hottest real estate markets in the country, if not the entire world. And it's aggravating because we now live, my city that I live in, a little podunk country town, is the highest rate of apartment complexes per capita in the entire state. And they're popping up like freaking flies. And every day I drive by these gigantic apartment complexes that are being built, I fantasize to the point where my adrenaline starts rushing. I fantasize about sneaking into these in the middle of the night and setting them all on fire. And live streaming it on Facebook from an anonymous account. But I don't do that because I have kids. I have kids that I have to care for. And just to be clear, I meant the apartment complexes that are still in construction. They're empty, not like people living inside them. I'm not insane. And it would be so easy. It would be so easy to do that. Just a little bitty match would set this entire complex up. But anyway, so the point is that these organizations are coming in and they're destroying cities. City council. We have the most corrupt city council in like the whole state. It's just terrible. It's just terrible. The point is you're a pyro. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. I do like blowing stuff up and shooting stuff, so I did that for a living for a long time. All right, silver is still doing its thing. I don't see any 3Cs yet for a short. They're popping up those ugly cookie cutter townhomes everywhere. Yeah. I'd like to see this implemented. Big companies can lobby and then the game changes. If it happily implemented, it'll be very good for younger generations. Yeah. In light of what you're talking about, monthly housing payments fall, but sales lag, meaning U.S. housing payment drops 23.65, 4%. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. $1 million studio properties, St. Peter, and all the property values. Yeah. They're pretty corrupt over here. I'd rather build hotels and apartments, so a one-bedroom apartment costs $1,500. Yeah. NASDAQ is selling back off. Buy their way to a spot of local government and really screw over the everyday citizens. Private beaches taking away parking at the beach, storing parks. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't want to get too far into it because I do think we are. There's so much fraud in both local government and federal government. I do think we're past the point of voting, so I'll leave it at that. But yeah, their freedoms are being suppressed left and right. It's crazy. Everyone thinks they could do whatever they want and hurt the average American citizen. They are pushing ES pre-market low through 69.35 in the cards per SG. Yep. So it's still coming on down here. If you look at the SPX, you know, they're defending this level like crazy right here. So this is the main point of attack. If at any point they wipe out 6,900 and close, then I'd probably say we're going to initiate a little bit of a downtrend. Now we have to think about tomorrow is NFP. Tomorrow is the main event left before FOMC. We have CPI, but most people are kind of riding off CPI. We're focused on NFP here. The home I bought is split level, 3-bedroom, 8,000 square feet of land, 900K. Is Bookmap helpful on silver futures? Maybe. I don't track it on silver, but it probably will be. Look at that. Silver's coming off here. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? What did I tell you? Let's see if we can get 24. See if we can get 24. Exhaustion pattern, baby. Exhaustion pattern. There we go. There's 3.5. Beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. There we go. There's a top tick. Can we do it? Can we get 24? Can we get 24? Man, what'd I tell you? Like, today's one of those days, man, where it's just, I'm on it. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I know you can't see it right now, but I'm doing the 6-7 hand motion. Let's see it, baby. Did OM fist bump himself? Oh my gosh. Come on, baby. There's 2-4. God. Anyway. There you go. What convinced you that pullback was imminent? It had that exhaustion pattern look. It had the exhaustion pattern where every attempt was top ticked. It was kind of doing this. If you're looking at the screen here, it was kind of doing this pattern here, where very strong move, and then it starts to fizzle, and then top tick, top tick, top tick, top tick, top tick, and then boom. Now, I was very careful to say pullback versus reversal, because that's not necessarily a reversal pattern. That's the pullback pattern. And what that language does to my brain is it cages my expectations. Instead of me looking for a full-on reversal and trying to go for the big win, I'm just looking for a pullback. Now on silver, that is a ton of money right there. That little pullback is a ton of money. But I'm not looking for the gigantic reversal. I'm just looking for a drawdown pullback, 275.24, and that's exactly what I got. Now, like I said, I also told you that that wasn't a 3Cs trade. There wasn't much on the 3Cs that was kind of jumping off the books at me. It just, the pattern itself, the price action itself looked like it was fading. Pullback. I guess that's a little experience. I don't know. I don't know how to teach that part other than just kind of verbalizing what was going through my noggin. Thanks, Mojo. Appreciate you being here, buddy. NASDAQ is coming back off. Verbalize it. Yeah. And you know what else? I mean, obviously, my gut was right. I just explained that part. You know what else? You know what else contributed to that trade, to that setup? The fact that I did nothing. I was waiting, patient. I wasn't already caught in a short and I was stressing out that it was going higher. I wasn't trying to scalp every candle. I was just waiting, doing nothing. Waiting until I saw something that, hey, this kind of looks good. And there it is. It's like when I'm starving and I pull up to the Taco Bell menu and I'm just being patient. I'm looking for exactly what I want to see. Hey, is that a Supreme Chalupa with extra beef? That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting. Yeah, there you go. There you go. The ATF has had 650,000 submission form ones in the past 6 days. Shut down the website. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. There's a bounce back up. I don't know, man. I don't think I'm going to touch anything else. It's one of those days where I'm firing on all cylinders, and I don't want to wreck it. It's been too good, and I know how this day ends if I keep going. I'm gonna end up wishing I stopped. I mean, it's 10 o'clock anyway, so I'm supposed to buy my marriage agreement. I have to shut things down anyway, except for my IBKR, which I'll go ahead and shut that down too. What's up, 2Dub? 2x the daily. Nice, JDM. I love it, buddy. Well freaking done. Silver's bouncing back up. NASDAQ is just chilling. Any other questions about anything? Comments, concerns? I think I'm pretty much done for the day. I'll stay on for another half hour, but I think I'm done. Did I make a New Year's resolution? I personally don't like New Year's resolutions. I don't like them. I'm more like, I hate the word diet. You know, I'm on a diet. It sounds like you need to drink a tab and go watch, Sharon Stone's fitness videos. So, but however, I did make a goal of 2026, and that is to finish my book. I want to write my book. Y'all remember Tab? Tab is in the cola, yeah. My mom used to drink them. She was a type 1 diabetic, so I remember her drinking Tab growing up in the 80s. We break VWAP on we break 200 EMA multiple time frames, and of course we get a dollar green candle to ruin it on the 1 minute. How do I consider VWAP into trading? Do we consider it? I don't. I don't have any lines on my chart. VWAP, EMAs, nothing. I don't have any of them on my chart. Do you think about people who use it? It doesn't, for me personally, it doesn't give me any value add. I have no problem if you use it. Of course, as long as you're doing the 3 C's first, because there are some pattern ramifications to it. But I personally don't. I don't trade them. I don't look at them. I'm a 90s baby. Tab was before my time. Yep, it was. It reacts pretty consistently with metals. You know what else does? Acid. Badumch. The dad over here. There you go. Oh, man. I have a question see if y'all know. I am looking for the best mobile Bluetooth speaker that I can find. The loudest, the best one I could carry around with me, maybe put it in the gym, go to the campfire. What do y'all recommend? Normally I've been doing these Ultimate ears, but the batteries don't last too long. They're terrible. So I'm looking for something loud, a lot of bass, sound quality, maybe $300 to $500 price range. Beyond that, I'll just put in a wired service, but cheap. I am cheap, dude. I'm very cheap. I come from nothing, dude. I come from nothing. The quart size JBL Extreme is great. I have one. My JBL 6 is banging. Let me double check the name. I got Bose as a gift and it's mind blowing. I'll take a look. So they're saying something like this. See the one you see the one in the back right with the yellow plus or minus sign? That's the one I've got now. But the battery, like I have to charge it every 20 minutes. It drives me nuts. And it's it's great, but is there something better? That's not too crazy. Look at the soundbar again. All right, silvers are still chilling. The Bose in the corner is what I have. Way louder than what I imagined. Really? Okay. You want the JBL on the left. There's a slightly smaller version I'll be playing. No, I want the big version. But yeah, okay. I'll take a look. Do yourself a favor and learn about xylitol. Okay. Yeah, but that's for like TV, home theater. I'm talking about like throw on the back of the ATV, go hunting, do some fitness, annoy the neighbors. Xylitol isn't the sweetener sugar alcohol. This is the one I have. Great sound, good bass, runs for 10 hours. Ooh, okay. All right. I like it. Run the Californians away. If I ever have a California move next to me, I am going to blast 24/7 Trump speeches. This is press conferences over and over again. Abdu Bakr Baghdadi has been killed. He died like a dog, just over and over again. Beautiful dog. You're moving next to me. I like it. A xylitol will kill your dog. What is a xylitol stuff, man? That sounds pretty intense. Pretty Bird. It's a great movie. So right now, Best Buy has the biggest JBL for $500. That's the top end of what I would want to spend. By Diddy and R. Kelly, I like it. I miss throwing grenades and flashbangs. We watched Lone Survivor the other day. It makes me miss that stuff, dude. Did you ever watch 13 Hours? I did watch it. Yes. It's very difficult for me to watch modern war movies simply because of everything's nonsense, everything's lies. But yeah. Hurt Locker was crazy. I haven't watched that one, yeah. No, I did watch Hurt Locker. That was the IED one, right? Hurt Locker. Generation Kill was fantastic. Yeah, I remember watching that one way back in the day when it first came out. Don't expect great sound quality from any of those. They are mostly only one driver and really just meant for blasting at the beach. Do you have a recommendation? Silver is starting to put on a little bit of a wick. Oh, wow, I hit it. Okay. Is the hero bearish? The hero is maintaining bearishness, yes. They can't decide on what to do with the puts. 1.1 billion in puts, 90 million in calls. There you go. Let's go take a look at the longer time frames before I kind of sign off here. I'm kind of done scalping and doing all these day trades for the day. If the market is kind enough to give you a banger of a day, know when to stop. Know when to stop. All right, so far on the 4-hour chart, we have an aggressive top wick on this after an engulfing red. So the buyers were unable to maintain the 50% fib on this move. So I'd probably say there's a good chance we tap 531 before the end of the week at least. Police that mustache. I love it. JBL Extreme 4. Ooh, hey, I like the camouflage. I got this from my employer for my 25th anniversary. Sound good. Nice. Little JBL. I like it. Oh, is that a microphone? You could do a little karaoke? Little Backstreet Boys? Yeah, those are Blackstreet Boys too. There's Backstreet and Blackstreet. Yeah. Oh man, it's a big microphone. Nasdaq cannot maintain this level. So, was the internet being cut off in Iran? Was that voluntary? Like the Iran cut it off, or did like Israel cut it off? They're censoring. Hold on, let's take a look here. Internet blackout disruptions reported across Iran amid nationwide protests. Interesting. Interesting. All right. I think silver is going to offer the best opportunity today. This afternoon. If you want to trade some in the afternoon, just wait for the volume, baby. Other than that, no, I think I'm going to lock it up. Just passed 3 more evals. Ready to make some money tomorrow. I love it, buddy. I love it. What's up, Alex? Just join. What are we looking for on silver? 3Cs. You know, silver was down 6% at one point. Now they're only down 3%. They bounced. We have this little distribution pattern that's coming up here. Right now, we don't have a lot of reversal signals yet, but I think it's going to offer a lot of opportunity to the afternoon. It typically does, at least in this environment. So if they take out this little SR flip, which was my first target, 75.24, it's going to plummet. So keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. Volume would be great. Yeah, buddy. Haven't seen you around much, Alex. What you doing, baby? You hanging out with us today? I like it. Gold, CL. I haven't even looked at CL today. Silver still chilling. I entered an SBR. All right. I had a free 25K TPT account and traded silver. Hit my daily goal in 5 seconds. I love it, Pastor. That'll do it. That'll do it. Silver is the one to do that. Tomorrow is NFP. We're about to wrap the stream up here, so we'll kind of just break things down. Tomorrow is NFP, non-farm payroll, for those not in the know. What else do we have? At 8:30 Eastern Time, we have average hourly earnings. That's a 3-star event. We have building permits, non-farm payroll, unemployment rate. So we have a lot going on, and that is it. No, it's not it. I'm sorry. We have member FOMC Kashkari, the granola guy, speaking at 10 o'clock. We have the Michigan consumer sentiment at 10 o'clock and the Atlanta Fed GDP. So a little bit after non-farm payroll, but that's by far and large the big stuff. So as we wrap up this week, I can't believe it's already the end of the week. Next week, Monday, we have the 10-year bond auction. Tuesday, we have CPI, 30-year bond auction. On Wednesday, we have core retail sales, PPI, retail inventories, crude oil inventories, Beige Book, FOMC Williams, and that is it. Thursday, we have S&P Global, Philadelphia, initial jobless claims, yada, yada, yada. Friday's nothing. Nothing. Yes, you can trade silver on TPT, but it's only minis, not micros. So you can trade silver. Whether or not you want to or not is a different question, but you can trade silver. One of those days I'll sling 10 sil. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. Yeah, I mean, not even a wrong. You could still even have a great entry, but you're half a candle wrong and you're done. Like it's just 10 is such a crazy position size. Nasdaq is bouncing back up. Silver's still chilling. 250 per tick would invert. Yeah. What's your typical position size on silver? One, maybe two, if I'm feeling confident. If I'm feeling confident. I mean, that's all you need. That is all you need. You can catch one candle with one contract and make four figures with these particular moves. Now, in normal days when silver wasn't doing this, you could take normal Nasdaq style position sizing, but with this crap, I mean, you can't go bigger than that. Any bigger than that, and you're going to get wrecked if you're wrong. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. What questions you got final? Main trades I took today was a long scalp on NASDAQ and the silver short. The silver short, good stuff. And I took some trades pre-market, but those are the two main ones. Prediction for the rest of the day? Well, I still am of the opinion that we're going to tap this 531 on NASDAQ before we go back up, if we go back up. But if I were y'all right now, I would pay very close attention to the SPX 6900 mark. In fact, I'm gonna post this right here. Reason being is because that is a negative gamma cross line. We get under that, things get erratic. IV will jump, volatility will jump, and we're coming back down. So, what's up, Brian? I joined last month on a monthly membership. Can you show me how to switch to quarterly? Yes. So do this. Did you sign up on Stripe or PayPal? You don't have to say. You could DM me if you don't want to give that information out. That's fine. Go sign up for the quarterly. Cancel the monthly. Sign up for the quarterly. DM me and I'll refund the difference, whatever it is, the prorated difference. If I were you all though, because that's what I've done, is I would put 6900 line on SPX and put an audio alert on it, so you get notified on your phone or whatever it is you use, your BlackBerry, when SPX crosses 6900. They got rid of BlackBerry because the government couldn't hack them. I believe it. I believe it. All right, y'all. It's been a fantastic day. I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. Good stuff. If you have any questions, please throw them in the channel. Hit me up with the DMs. Other than that, I appreciate y'all hanging out. And let's finish off the first week of the year right tomorrow. So y'all have a good rest of the day. Be safe. Don't do anything stupid. If you're already up, please consider shutting it down for the day. And enjoy the rest of your day. Until next time, I'm out. See you.